Vanessa Freitag knows a thing or two about running successful companies. She's headed up a few before getting to her current job at 4C for Children. She chatted about that a few weeks ago with First Financial Retail Region President Ilaria Rollins.
Thanks, Kyla. Vanessa, thanks for coming and spending time with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about 4C for Children?
So 4C for Children is an organization, a nonprofit, and our job is to teach the teachers. So we work with the child care program teachers who are working with children ages 0 to 5. And as we help the teachers with their education and their early childhood education, that helps to ensure that children are kindergarten ready.
That's great. You have been instrumental in leading through change. Tell us a little bit about why you felt change was necessary and how did you get that started?
So I joined 4C about 4 years ago. I took over after an iconic CEO, Sally Westheimer, retired, who had been there for 35 years. And when I joined the organization, one of the things that I did was start to look at the data, the numbers. How were we doing? What were our responsibilities? And pretty quickly, I realized that the state of Ohio had put in place a law that says by June 30 of 2020, every child care program that serves families who get assistance from the state needs to reach a quality threshold. And when I did the math on the numbers, what I saw was we had 1,000 programs that needed help, and we were only increasing the quality with 2 or 3% of those programs any given year. So something had to change.
Absolutely. With change comes fear. How did you create kind of that safe zone for your employees to try new things and be inspired to be led through the change?
Two things. First is I went on a listening tour to all of our regions and really asked throughout our agency what they thought made our agency great. So understanding that is important, I think, before you start to implement change. And I was brand new to the organization. One of the next things I did was I created something called Fail Forward Fridays. And what I said was, we need to figure out what to do. There's no roadmap. No other organizations like ours had any idea how to increase the pace. So let's just try things. And I would only allow them to email me the failures. And what I wanted to know is, what did you try? Why did it fail? What did we learn? And what are we going to try next? And it really helped people understand that failing doesn't mean that you fail. It just means we've learned something.
I love that. I love that it gave the employees kind of that freedom and that comfort zone. How do you balance the importance of honoring the past while knowing that you need to change things going forward?
Absolutely. So I also dug in and really tried to understand what are the principles that made 4C for Children a successful organization for more than 45 years by the time I arrived. They had to be doing many things right. So a good example was recognizing that relationships were the core of working with child care providers and child care teachers. It can be a very isolating industry, and it can be quite chaotic if you've ever been in a child care classroom, and you really have to earn their trust. But we believed that you could only earn that trust one-on-one. We could only work with one teacher at a time. And so we challenged that assumption and said, okay, let's hang on to the core of the importance of relationships, but let's see if we can build relationships in groups. And we created something called the cohort method. And then we could have 8, 10, or even 15 child care program teachers together. And yet, what we learned was you can build very deep relationships in a group. It doesn't just have to be one-on-one.
That's great. That's great. Vanessa, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
It's my pleasure.